10 queer things about me. Now, first, let me just say, when I say queer, I think of people who are unique and different, like different little quirks they may have about them that makes them special and different from everyone else. So, if you're not queer, then you're very boring and not interesting at all. Anyway, you ready? This is going to get weird. 1. I do write with my right hand because I am right-handed. However, I can only masturbate and come with my left hand. And when I do, I look like I have rigor mortis. It's true. Yep, I stiffen up when I jack off and come. But that's not as weird as it gets. Believe me, it's going to get a hell of a lot weirder. Just wait and see. 2. I can remember, I have very fond memories of when I was a child, of coming and masturbating. And the odd thing is, when I was very young, like I think just below maybe 13, I think still at 13 I was able to do this, but it seems like after about 13 or 14 I could no longer masturbate not using my hands at all. I used to just be able to tense up and put my legs together, and yeah, I could come easily that way. I don't know what happened. I have to use my hand now. Oh well. Yeah. Let's see. 3. I'm mostly attracted to somewhat effeminate men, and a lot of those are actually gay. I did have a gay boyfriend once. We lived together for 3 years. We shared a beach apartment, and the funny thing is, the types of guys that I like, he never was into. And the types of guys he liked, I was not into at all. I like the smooth, boyish types, and he was into like the manly man, muscular, hairy guys. Yuck, with like hair on their chest and everything. Gross. Yeah, strange, isn't it? Well, you know what they say, opposites attract. And he used to say we had nothing in common, but I know what he meant. It was because of that. And we did have things in common, but he just always said that, but I know what he meant. Where was I? I lost count. Maybe that was 4. Let's just call that 4, I guess. 5. My very first boyfriend was 23, and I was 13. And I love the fuck out of him, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Yeah. Oh, and I actually snuck out my window quite a bit to see him, and it went on for a couple of years. 6. I do think the age of consent should be lowered. I think 18 is much too old. By then, your brain has developed too much, and the synapses in your brains cannot make the connections for the type of sex that you have at that point. So it's kind of too late. For example, this is a theory of mine. I've heard that a lot of women don't come with penetration, which I never could understand. But in a way it makes sense, because if you think about it, and if you've never had penetration with a guy for all your life until you're 18, then yeah, because your brain never got to develop that part of it to have an orgasm. I mean, come on. Would you expect someone to know how to play a piano if they never played until they're 18? It's very easy to learn things when you're young, and the same thing goes with coming and having orgasms. Is an orgasm a learned thing? Not necessarily, but your body learns it. It's not necessarily a conscious thing, it's a subconscious thing. I'm not going to get into that right now, it's too long of a debate, or theory, but yeah, it makes sense when you really start to study the brain. And the funny thing is, the brain is the very least understood organ besides the genitals. True. 7. Okay, this is gonna get weird. When I masturbate, my mind goes into a very, very strange, bizarre place. It's not me. I don't want to give people the wrong idea, because I'm not sadomasochist at all. But when I masturbate, I think about a lot of shit. I like to look at scars on dicks and shit like that. Like, I look for botched, okay? Like, botched genital, and I don't even like, right now, I could tell you, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in cutting some part of someone's dick off if they don't want that done to them. But when I masturbate, man, I totally get into that shit. And I have no idea why. It's crazy. But yeah, find me a mutilated dick picture, and man, I could just jack off to that fucker all day long. 8. I am a nudist. I don't like wearing clothes when I'm at home at all, and I actually always pee standing up when I'm home. I never sit down, ever. And yeah, let's just leave it at that. And no, I'm not a guy, but I do have a very large clit. 9. I haven't had intercourse without a condom in over something like 25 years. And that makes me very sad, because I enjoy having intercourse very much without condoms. However, because of what I do, I'm a sex worker, I have to have my clients wear condoms. And last but not least, it's extremely rare for me to be attracted to my clients. And just to give you some idea of how rare that is, I see somewhere between 200, 300, 400 people a year, hundreds, let's just say. And I've been doing sex work for about 25 years, 30 years. Yeah, I am that old. I don't look it, but I am. And I would say that I can think of right now, there's only one. He was like a boyish looking guy, very cute. He lived in New York, and I kept hinting at him that I wanted to see him again without charge. And I don't think I was his type, because he wasn't that interested, actually. So, yeah. Take care.